I'm Associate Professor Ray Buettner. I'm the Director for the Consortium for Robotics and Unmanned Systems Education and Research here at the Naval Postgraduate School. And in that role, we're the co-sponsors for the Warfare Innovation Workshop. What we try to do with the workshop is bring together some of our brightest and most energetic students, mostly naval officers, but we also have Army and Air Force officers participating in the event. We team them up with some of the best engineers from industry and government laboratories and put them in an environment with just a thread of a scenario to stimulate those innovative juices. And we try to get the students to help us think about what concepts should be explored over the next 2 years as part of the Warfare Innovation Continuum that the Navy Warfare Development Command runs through our Chair of Innovation here, Captain Jeff Kline.
This is actually our fourth Warfare Innovation Workshop associated with both the Navy Warfare Development Command and the Consortium for Robotics, Unmanned Systems, and Education and Research. We take those good ideas, we spread them across campus, they become capstone projects, they become thesis work, they also become research threads for both the Consortium for Robotics, Unmanned Systems, Education and Research, and our Littoral Operations Center. So in a way, we're tying the central theme with our graduate education to make a real impact for the Navy. One of the most interesting challenges that we have when we take a look at the littoral environment is just how complex it is. You have changing weather, you have changing environmental conditions, both the oceanography and the meteorology of a particular environment is unique to the local area in which you're trying to assume naval operations. When that happens, regular tactics, deep water tactics don't necessarily apply. So we're challenging our students and our guests from industry here in order to try to address those challenges head on to see if there's some unique concepts that we might be able to develop from this workshop.
The Marine Corps concept for putting small groups on islands in the middle of the South China Sea so that they can assist naval forces, potentially swarming naval sources, manned and unmanned aircraft, and surface and subsurface vehicles came out of one of these workshops 2 years ago. The concept for distributing naval forces, breaking apart a carrier air wing potentially and sending it throughout the area of conflict, those types of ideas have all arisen out of here, as well as concepts such as network optional warfare. We focused a lot on taking advantage of the network. How do we fight if the network goes away? And that concept's been explored, and we're actually funding research projects, developing prototypes, and using these concepts in our courses across the campus.
So you see there's a difference between having great ideas and then actually having them turn into something of tangible value. So when I talk about innovation, I get people to think about the two sides of it. One is the idea process, getting ideas, something new on the table, making it tangible, but then taking that tangible thing and say, how can I create value out of that tangible thing? And almost everything has a value equation attached to it, and I define value as benefits over costs. So you could do that in the private sector pretty easily by looking at economic value. In the military, it's a little different, but you can always put value equation around something. If I can get an MRAP overseas to protect our troops 2 months earlier than I do now, there's a value to that. If I can get an injured soldier to a field hospital 10 minutes sooner than we are now, there's a value to that. So I ask people to think of innovation as, using creative thought processes of the mind that we all have as inherent in us, trying to apply that process to some outcome, better performance, outmaneuver the enemy, and that's got to result in some sort of tangible set of capabilities or something new that can be applied and create value. So I ask people to think about innovation as not just the fun part, which is the ideation part. Everybody thinks of innovation as thinking up cool stuff. But it's only cool if you actually can do something with it and it helps somebody.
1, 2, 3. The SSG group, we've come together, 7 of us. We're going off to Newport after we graduate, so we came together here for our first initial experience working together. So we've had quite a bit of fun actually coming up with some of these creative ideas that we are about to present. It's a great experience to learn and try and think outside the box.
We worked together really well. It was fun coming up with like the crazy off-the-wall ideas and then actually figuring out a way to use them and make them useful instead of, completely insane.
Probably no place else on the planet where you can bring together naval expertise, industry, academia, put them together in a context that allows us to explore innovative ideas across the spectrum from technical to legal to ethical in one place and do it as part of an educational program. It's a very efficient use of the taxpayers' resources and a really great way for us to help the Naval Postgraduate School execute its unique mission.